I bet monsters lead interesting lives. I was just saying to my best friend the other day, I said, I bet monsters lead interesting lives. I mean, the places they must go, the places they must see, I bet they meet all kinds of interesting people. But as usual, I'm getting a little ahead of myself again, right? So welcome, I'm E.H. Howard, and this is the Toolbox Challenge. What's the Toolbox Challenge, you're saying? Great question, because maybe you never heard of it, right? I'm going to tell you some more. All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet because we got to get to the challenge. That's the more important part. Now, you never know what's coming at you as a business owner, right? You need to be ready for anything and everything. And you need to be interesting to everyone you're talking to. You're the VP of sales, the CEO of everything. And in those positions, you meet a lot of interesting people. People you need to connect with. Fast, easy, all while feeling authentic, real, and genuine. Now, that's our goal here, right? To have new experiences that we can store for later when we need them. Kind of like buying a new tool and putting it in a metaphorical toolbox. It's going to be up here. And then we can access it later when we need it. You might not need that tool today, and you may not need it tomorrow, but it's there if and when you need to use it, okay? And that's kind of what this is all about in a nutshell. That's where the goal is. That's kind of where we're heading. And you got to get the idea. I'm kind of rambling here again, but that's me. Welcome to me. All right, so let's get into this challenge, shall we? Now, this is one of the first challenges where we're going to actually start having a little bit more rails on it. We're going to kind of constrain the thinking process. And we're going to get to that in a second, so just hang on there. We're going to get some time to watch a monster movie, specifically a monster movie you watched as a kid. Now, if you're a Gen Xer like me, you probably spent all day Saturday watching classic monster movies on UHF. And if you know what that is, you're my tribe. People like Dr. Shock, Svengoolie, Elvira, they introduced me to some classic black and white old movies. And when I rewatch those old movies today, well, I feel like I'm back in my parents' living room. I feel like it's a Saturday morning, I'm sitting in front of the TV, and I'm sure it's probably the same with you. Now, with that in mind, let's get into the actual nuts and bolts of our challenge, all right? Now, as I mentioned, we are going to be watching a monster movie from when we were a child. Now, here's where we get into some of the details, some of the rails, all right? First, by kid, I mean under the age of 12. It has to be a movie you watched before you became a teenager or an adult, because I want to kind of tap into some of those childhood memories that you had. We kind of want to get into some of the nostalgia of the moment. Number 2, it can be a movie that you love or you're not so fond of that you might want to take a second look at. But it has to be a monster movie, okay? Now, I'm kind of playing fast and loose with the term monster here, but it can be anything from Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, to Godzilla or Kaiju. You name it. Anything and everything in between. There is nothing off the table as far as monsters, all right? You can watch it alone, you can watch it with friends or family, but it doesn't really matter because that's not the point. The point is we want to have some nostalgia. Now, it might be fun to introduce some friends and family to your film, but you don't have to. However you want to re-experience it is your choice. The goal is to tap into those memories, all right? Got it? All right, now let's take a moment. Let's forget about the bullshit of what's going on in the real world. Let's focus on this movie. We're going to have some fun, maybe get a little scared for a moment, and when you're done, move on over to the reflection portion so we can kind of process what we've seen and learned. All right? I'll see you over there.